Dear students of English Grammar, we welcome you in our lecture 5 English version lecture, in which we have a topic once again voice, and we'll study structure, subject and object used in voice. Students, first we will understand how we can identify voice and what are the structures of voice in form of active voice and passive voice. And second thing that we will come to know will be how we can identify subject and object, and what are the structures of active voice and passive voice, and how do we change our pronouns, and which pronouns are used on the place of subject and on the place of object. Now students, this is Rehman and you are attending Oracy classes of English language. Please to continue with us and to observe the whole series of voice, please don't forget to subscribe our channel Oracy classes of English language. And if you like our lecture, please don't forget to like, share and comment. Students, you have been watching our series of voice from lecture 1. From this lecture 5, we are going to revise and update these lectures based on voice, and I hope you will enjoy these lectures, and these lectures will continue up to the higher level that is related to competitive exams from academics. Now let's begin. What is voice? Now students, let's understand voice is of two types. First, active voice and passive voice. Active voice is a voice or a sentence or a structure that is based on subject, means it is a sentence, you can say it is a subject oriented sentence, it is a doer oriented sentence. And passive voice is a sentence which is object oriented sentence, means object is given importance in this sentence. In other words, in active voice sentence, verb begins with some doer that does the action, and in passive voice we begin our verb with object. The person who does that action is mentioned in the last, or it is omitted. Now students, let's take some example to understand what is active voice. Suppose I say I am teaching some students. I is a doer and the work of teaching is being done by I, means by me. Now you say I is subject and students, the group of words student will be object. It is active voice when I say students will be taught by me. Now this sentence is begun with the students, my students or whatever. Now student, this is object, and by me, me is changed into an object in this passive voice. So we can say students are being taught, students are not teaching, means students, the phrase students isn't a subject, students aren't teaching, mean to say is student, the group of words students is object. In this way, this sentence is based on object, that's why it is passive voice. We will study further, and let's see how we come to know what is subject and object. Okay, suppose I have a sentence, Pinky writes an essay. When we transform active voice into passive voice, the first thing is we will have to identify what is subject and what is object. And to identify this, we will have to go through all these rules that I am going to tell you. You please pay attention, and please sit with a pen and notebook, and you continue write and note whatever you understand here. Pinky writes an essay. Pinky is subject because Pinky is doer. Doer means a person that does an action. And an essay is an object because an essay isn't doing anything. An essay is being done. So an essay is an object. When we change it into a passive voice, students, we wrote the object of active voice in the beginning of passive voice, because you came to know a passive voice is an object oriented sentence, means in passive voice we begin our sentence with an object. Essay doesn't write, essay is written by somebody, means Pinky is the writer of this essay, and Pinky is not written in the beginning, means in the beginning object is written, means an essay isn't a doer, means when we don't put doer in the beginning of a sentence, it is called passive voice, and we write the doer after some related preposition in the ending of the sentence is known as passive voice. Now students, our next step is how to identify subject and object. This is our second part of this lecture. When we ask who, the answer of who is called subject and the answer of whom is called object. Suppose this is a sentence, I teach him daily. Who teach? I. Whom do we teach? Him. Him the answer. So him is an object and I is subject. Let's see this sentence. Who writes? Pinky writes. The answer of who is subject. What and which are used for non-living things generally. What is written? Or in other words, if in slang usage I say whom, you are writing an essay. What? You are writing an essay. Means an essay isn't writing, but an essay is being written by Pinky. Means an essay that is not a doer is an object. Now we understood, if we want to know subjects and objects in living beings, we create question who, and the answer of who in case of living beings we get subject, and when we ask whom and we get answer in case of living being we have object. Now student, there are two more pronoun here, which and what. Which and what are generally used in case of non-living things, but sometimes we use to identify or select which in case of living being too. If we ask which pen do you like, now which pen may be used with object, and which is in itself may be an object. Which and what, both these two words work as subject and object. Subject and object means which has a dual action, subject as well as object, and what too does a work of subject and as well as object. Now students, suppose I have a sentence, what teases you. Now I will ask a question, who teases you? The answer of who is what. What teases you? Then what is subject here, and what also does the work of object. And you see the sentence, what do you like? Then I ask whom, what, whom do you like, what do you like. Here what is object. In this way which and what do the work of subject and object as well. Now students, let's see the third thing, the structure of active voice and passive voice. And before we solve this question, let's have a look on this structure of active voice and passive voice. Now students, see, in active voice, subject plus helping verb plus main verb plus object. After object you can see there are some dots. It means that there may be some remaining sentence in the end, and it may be the sentence will end at object. As you see, these are the structures. And the structure of passive voice, students, we see, as you know, an active voice is a subject oriented sentence, and passive voice is an object oriented sentence. In this way you see, subject, the doer, is written in active voice in the beginning, and object is written in passive voice in the beginning before verb. Now let's see, we transform an active voice into passive voice, students, especially when we have some transitive verb in active voice. Means active voice that is based on a transitive verb can be transformed only in passive voice. Means I mean to say, now we'll understand what is main verb based on transitive verb. I mean, what is transitive verb? Transitive verb is a verb that is used with object, or that can be used with object, like I wrote a letter. It means a letter is an object of wrote. I sang a song. I taught you. It means we need something when we ask the question whom. Whom you. I taught is the students. Whom the students. But in intransitive verbs, I and transitive, intransitive means opposite to this transitive. We don't we don't transform active into passive, because when we don't have an object of a verb, we can't change it into passive voice. I mean to say, passive voice, the verb that is intransitive can't be changed into passive form. Transitive verbs are those verbs which have objects, and intransitive verbs don't have objects. So when we don't have objects, how can we change it into active to passive and passive to active? We can't do this. So we need transitive verb to transform an active voice into passive voice. Now let's see what changes occurs. What changes occurs here? Subject plus helping verb. This is a helping verb of active voice. In some sentences we don't have helping verbs. Suppose he writes a letter. This is present indefinite tense and we don't have any helping verb in affirmative sentence. But students, generally if you say he has written a letter in present perfect, you use has or have compulsorily. It means you have helping verb. Then I can say in case of active voice, you may have helping verb and you may not. Means you have both the conditions. You can be with helping verb or you can be with you may be without helping verb. In this way, we are not going to pay attention to helping verb, subject and this object. Students, this is an active voice. When we transform into passive, we take this object into to the beginning of the passive voice. This object comes to the beginning of the sentence, means before the main verb, and you change this helping verb according to the rule that will be taught in the next lecture. And you always change this verb of active voice into third form of main verb in case of passive voice. Means in passive voice you always use third form of verb, and then you write all the rest of the sentence that is remaining in the end, and after the in the last of the sentence you write by or any some certain preposition, and then you write subject in form of object. Now students, please don't get confused subject and object in form of subject. I make you understand very slowly. Suppose this is subject I, and you write it in the end, you write by me. Means the subject of active voice is written in form of object, okay, and the object of active voice is written in form of subject, Suppose it was me, you will write I here. I will remain object, but the face of I will be like subject. And we will see in the next step of today's lecture how do we do this. Now let's sum up this structure. Object plus changed helping verb of passive voice, P for passive voice helping verb third form. Rest of the sentence required preposition by or any other, whatever is according to the verb, and then we use objective case of this subject, okay. Now let's see how do we change this structure. Our question is, I teach him daily. I is a subject, him is a object, okay. Him will come at the place of I, and him is in object form. As I have already told you, this him will be in form of subject, but it will remain object. Him will be changed into he, okay. You can see here he, and in present indefinite we use is rm. We'll not discuss it here, because we will let you know how do we change in tenses in next lecture. But the question here is This him will come in the beginning as he, and this I will come in the ending of the sentence by me. Suppose this word is he, it will be changed into him. If it is a she, by her. You see, we by us. And if you have students in the ending of the sentence, him, it will be changed into he, me will be changed into I, us will be changed into we. In the same way, he is taught by me. Now let's see this sentence. This is noun and essay is a noun and Pinky is also a proper noun. We don't change this. An essay is written in the beginning in place of Pinky and then is plus third form, then by Pinky simply. And one more example is here, students. You see here. She did not sing a nice song. A nice song wasn't sung by her. A nice song was not sung by her. Now, students, the main thing is sometimes generally students think that after verb there is object. No, just after verb there is no object. And object is a noun or pronoun. You just find whether this a is noun or pronoun. No. This nice is noun or pronoun. No, it's an adjective. This song is noun or pronoun. Yes, definitely song is a noun. I mean to say, students, that you found out song as an object and the other words before noun or pronoun will be connected to this object. In this way, I can say this whole group of words after verb up to the your noun, all the words will be in this group, and this group will be called noun phrase, and this noun phrase will be used in place of subject. A nice song wasn't sung by her. This was she, and she will be changed into her. Now, students, once again I would like to make you know once again, a group of words means the group of words that is used before a noun, before first noun, is used in a group as a subject of passive voice. So a nice song wasn't sung by her. Now, students, the last fourth part before us is what is the chart of pronoun. Students, I, my, mine, me, we, our, ours, us, you, your, yours, you, he, his, him, she, her, hers, her, they, their, theirs, them, it, its, it. Sometimes it isn't used, but I have already written so that it may be finalized as a chart of pronoun. Now let's see. This chart is divided into 4 columns, and these 4 columns are divided into 3 segments. Let's see the segment number 1. This segment number 1, I have entitled this segment nominative case. Nominative case is subject, means the words that are used as a subject you use in nominative case. Means nominative case is a form of subject, means I, we, you, he, she, they, it are subjects. And objective case means objects me, us, you, him, her, them, it. In active voice, at the place of subject we use I and object me, we subject and us object, and these are the concerned words of each subject. Now, students, in this second segment I have 2 columns, 2 and 3, and this is called possessive case, and possessive case is divided into 2 parts, possessive adjective and possessive pronoun. Now let's understand what is the difference between possessive adjective and possessive pronoun. After this is my, and after my we need something to write in form of a noun. Suppose my book, our book, students, our book, his book, your book. It means after these words we need something to write, but after this column we don't need don't need to write anything. Suppose this book is mine, we teach ours. Students, we don't write anything after them. Now let's see, students, this is yours, it is his, it is hers. It means these words are used without any noun, but these words are used nouns. That's why these are possessive adjectives. Because adjective is a these words are adjectives because adjective is something that says something additional to the sense of noun. Means adjective is a word. Adjective is a quality that is added to a noun. Means my is added with noun, are is added with noun, your is added with noun. In the same way these words continue. Means these are possessive adjectives. It means with these words you must use a noun. Now students, if you have inactive voice I, it will be changed into by me. This we will be changed into by us. You will be changed into by you. Now there is a question, you is subject or object? How can we identify? If we have an answer who, the answer of who is called subject and the answer of whom is called object. Suppose you teach me, who teaches? You is subject. Now I teach you, whom do I teach? You. Then you is an object here. Students, I hope you have understood and gone through all this lecture number 5 English version lecture, that is advanced lecture, and that will lead you up to a competitive level. And you please, for this you continue to watch our channel Oracy classes of English language, and you complete this series of voice. Students, again we updated this series, and it will be up to competitive level, and you will definitely learn a lot through our series of voice. Students, everything will be taught related to the voice, so please don't forget to subscribe our channel so that you may have all the lectures on your screen. And please, if you like our lectures, don't forget to subscribe our channel Oracy classes of English language, and please like, share and comment. Don't forget to like our lectures. Students, keep on watching Oracy classes of English language, and I hope you will make the most of it. Thanks a lot.